Well, good evening, everybody. After a long hiatus through the holidays and January, we're so glad to be back with you. Not Be Better Tuesdays tonight. We have had a bit of scheduling difficulty, and so what we've decided is we're now going to be the Be Better Bunch. And that way we can kind of choose a night which works for everybody that's going to be on the panel, and we'll get the information out to you guys so that, you can come take a look and hear what we're going to talk about. What I'm really excited about tonight is to talk about the event that just happened in Vegas, the Inspire event. Unfortunately, because of my family situation, I was not able to be there, which was absolutely horrifying to me. I was in Dallas. But we've got Nick and Tim and Brandy and hopefully a few more people that are going to be popping on that were at the event. So you can't ever bring an event home. Right? There's nothing like being there and experiencing it for yourself, and that's why we always encourage people to go. Lots of these events, when you go to them, they're a lot about building the business and a lot of rah-rah. My experience with Prove It is it's a lot of knowledge. You get a lot of knowledge there. So as best as we can, I'm going to have these guys that were there just talk about their experience. A couple of different points. You know, what they learned, how they felt, the people that they met, maybe talk about Brian Underwood, because he is our founder and CEO, and it's his initial vision. So just feel free to share what really, really struck you, and we'll just keep kind of go around the room, if you would. So, Nick?
Yes.
Why don't we start with you? And I see that another friend of yours popped on, so if you want to introduce her too and welcome her, that would be great.
Okay. Cindy, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so this
Hi,
is
Cindy.
Cindy Sessions. She's from, where are you from now? Queen Creek?
Yeah, Santan Valley.
So that's East Mesa. Even
Hi,
further.
Cindy. Welcome. Glad to have you.
I can't figure out how to change my camera, so hello.
Well, it's okay. We can see your fingers.
You can turn your phone around.
It's not my phone, it's my computer. It wouldn't work on my phone.
You should. Are you on a laptop?
Yeah.
You should have at the top of the screen, there should be a teeny dot. That should be your camera.
Yeah, I can't make it go the other way. I don't know how to do that with this.
All right, we'll figure that out.
It's all right. We can hear you, so that's excellent.
So yeah, we're Cindy's very experienced. She's I'm very fortunate to know her, and I've seen her be very successful in the past. And this is going to be exciting for me. There she is. There's her picture.
Excellent.
I appreciate her friendship and the things that we've done in the past. So I'm just really looking forward to working with her.
Right. And now, did Cindy go to Vegas?
She did not.
No.
Okay. All right, but she's going to be excited like me because I wasn't there either and get to hear about it from you guys.
Right.
And we'll be at the next one, Cindy. I was at the first one, but we'll be at the next one.
Yep.
So
Nick,
what's the question you have?
Well, I got a couple, but first, just start with how you felt when you got there, because I was with you when we got to the very first event in Dallas, and there was some buzz and there was some excitement, but I would assume that now there was already some familiarity, right? We knew some more people, that feeling, of camaraderie, and just your initial feelings upon getting there. Let's talk about that a little bit.
It's just so well run. When we got there, to the people that were running the booth where they registered everybody and they had the swag, the T-shirts and everything, I know them well, and I was just very appreciative that Brian was able to finally get them to come on board. They kind of dragged their feet, but just super good people. And then you start meeting the people that you see on Facebook, and they know you, you know them. Sometimes it's a little frustrating because you say, I know who you are. Bobby Patton was there. I did get to see him as I was leaving to get on my plane to come home. He's doing really well. I think one of the great things is, overall, it was just a very well run. And what I love about Brian is he's so transparent. I mean, he just, when they made mistakes in the past, he said, we made mistakes, and they made some really big mistakes. And some were in their control, and some were not in their control, but he's just very transparent about it because, I think it was the Milky, Stephanie Milky, she Googled them, and, she asked him, she walked up to him in San Diego and says, I just want to know, are you a scam artist? Because that's what the internet says that he is. And, so he addresses that stuff, and he addresses it well, and you can't. Here's just a sketch of something, and I know Brandy and Tim were there to see this. Over 40 people walked across the stage who now have qualified for their a car bonus, and it was not a big deal. All they did is had them walk across the stage and say what car they were driving or where they were going to drive, but they had all qualified. And I'm sure there are more people that have qualified, but that was impressive to me. That we have got a company that is this new, and that many people have qualified for the $800 a month auto bonus.
Yeah, it's excellent, considering we technically didn't open our doors till September 1st.
Right, and we faltered.
Yep.
People couldn't get their product. People had to wait 3 weeks. We had the store was locked down after $100,000 in sales, which to this day I think that was one of the most brilliant things ever.
Yeah.
Is to do that, and they learned their lesson from that. That's why Keto Cream is not available in the open market right now. It's open to a few of us, and Keto Cream is going to be available, shortly. But it's just
smart business.
Well thought out. They've they're so what's it when you can move, like not like an amoeba. They're able to move themselves and transform themselves so quickly.
Yeah, so they adapt.
They adapt, and the rewards program is is constantly evolving, and the website's constantly evolving. And we had some things that it's hard for us to share with you, but like Russell Brunson's got a new funnel that we're going to have. All of us are going to have access to. The video is going to be amazing. It's like that 3-minute video that we share with people. It's going to be just super self-explanatory about what burning ketones mean. So Brandy and Tim, what were some of the things that you thought were the best parts of the event?
You want to go first, Brandy?
Sure. I really felt when I first walked in there, I thought, oh, I'm going to be nervous. I'm not going to feel, I'm just going to feel out of place because I didn't feel like I've been in that long, and maybe, they wouldn't know me. Michael knew who I was, and Dustin was like saying, hey, here's our rock star, and he just made me feel so important. Like, I didn't feel like I was just outside and they were these big hot shots, and they did just make you feel important, and I loved that, and you felt like you just knew everybody, and the information, I love that it was all about product. I learned so much more. I thought that I was excited before I went. I thought that I could explain it pretty good, but now I got so much more information, and I'm so excited to get together with people tomorrow and tell them all the great stuff I learned, And like he was saying about Brian, he was so nice, and he seemed so down to earth, and he was about making people healthy. He wasn't about recruit this many people so I can pad my pocketbook. And, we all know he's making money, but so what? That's not what he's focused on. He's focused on helping people, and I just really, really appreciated that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I know what you're talking about because having been in Dallas and having been in another company with Michael and Brian, their personalities are their personalities, right? And their desires for a company, their mission per se has never really faltered. You know, it's just now it's the right product, the right time, the right research, just everything is right. And like what you said, Nick, I'm a firm believer of pointing out the elephant in the room, you know, and you know, for good and bad, we have social media. And, you know, I love the memes that I see. Well, you know, Abraham Lincoln said something, you know, and it's something that George Bush said, right? If people see it on the internet, suddenly they believe it to be true. There's as much scam out there in the social media talking about scam, you know. And I was involved with Michael and Brian in that other company, and I know what happened, and who hasn't made a mistake? Who hasn't failed? How many people? I've had traditional businesses and lost a lot of money. So I appreciate transparency and honesty because that's really the way things should be. And having been in this industry for 21 years and been to a gazillion of these events, and I've enjoyed almost all of them that I've ever gone to, but without a doubt, these events are different than the other companies that I've been to, because
they're very informative.
Yeah, and the other events I've been to are almost like it's almost like, no offense to anybody, but it's almost like going to a Pentecostal church where, you know, they want to touch your head and you're going to roll in the aisles, right? And they're going to get the spirit in you, which again, that's fine, but a lot of these events are like that. It's to get you all fired up emotionally, get you fired up, and then it's about sell, build. That's not what we have going on here, and that's not what I experienced in Dallas, and that's not what I'm hearing from any of you that you experienced there. Yes, there's an excitement, but it's a natural, real excitement based on the product and the mission of the company, right? I mean, how do you feel about that, Tim?
Well, this is what I got to say about this company, Prove It. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep, perfectly.
Okay. You know, before I went to the first meeting in Dallas in October, you know, I'd never been to one of these before, so I wanted to go see what it was about. Fair enough. You know what? They impressed me. There's some stuff that needed to get done, but they fixed it. You know what I mean? It was nothing. Little things that needed to get done. I went back this time, and it's like, you know, I'm 1,000% in. And I'll tell you why. They're giving everyone the tools. They're not just telling. They're trying to set everyone up for success. And most brilliant companies do that. They take a step back. If something's not working, they fix it, come up with a solution, and then try to set everyone else up for success. And that's what they're doing. The tool they have when it comes to, for instance, video stuff or social media stuff, having a guy who's actually just taking the product, break down a comp for everyone else, you know, I mean, instead of having to go to some guy who just does it for a living. This guy is an airline pilot. He's a pilot, right, Nick? The guy that broke down the comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an airline pilot that took the product and he's breaking down the comp for everyone else. This is brilliant. You know what I mean? It's like, so him doing that, and then of course now they brought in this guy Joseph McClendon. As soon as I heard Joseph McClendon, I go, I know this guy. And then I'm listening to him. I go, this got to be a disciple of Tony Robbins. And I found out he's a disciple of Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins, I got everything about Tony Robbins.
Yep.
So it's like they're bringing everyone in to actually give you all the tools to go forward. You know, go forward. And that's why I'm 1,000% in. You know what I mean? I was never ever an MLM person, but I am, because these guys are setting up a foundation that won't falter. This foundation is firm. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm ready to go. I was just waiting for a date,
right.
But I'm not waiting anymore. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I already contacted people in Florida, and just now Chris Campbell from Florida just popped up here. I have a meeting to talk to him tonight at 10 o'clock, and then Sima Fisher. I already mailed her from here. A friend of mine in Miami, 3 packages to send on to Miami to her. So they did this right. You know what I mean? That's what I got to say about it. The company, and I'm a firm believer in setting up companies right, because I have my own companies, and I'm working with a lot of other companies now, And one of the first things I tell them is like, let's go through, let's check out your bones. You know what I mean? Let's figure out, let's see if everything is ready to go before you can sit there and start talking about the fluff around it. Let's look at the bones, right? And these guys, their bones are solid, and I love it. So
excellent.
So I mean, and I'm just talking about the one part of it. There's so many other things going on with the company that I love. I mean, Keto Max is supposed to be like Keto OS.
Tell me about that.
Keto,
I don't know
Keto OS on steroids. Let's put it that way. That's what it's supposed to be. Maybe Nick could tell more about it, because I was outside talking to Dr. Andy when Dr. Wilson was talking. So I can't remember everything he was saying.
Well, here's what's really funny. I get a text, I think, from Nick, and because I was watching you guys on Periscope and everything. I'm over at my mother's sitting with my parents, and I got my 2 computers open. I got my cell phone, Periscope's up, Facebook's up, and I get a text from Nick, and it just says, Keto Max. and that's all it says.
And I didn't on for another hour.
And I send him back all these question marks. What is it? What? He doesn't answer me for an hour.
Wow. You were dying, weren't you?
Dying. So put your collective heads together, and what did you each piece together about this Keto Max? What's coming? We know it's not here yet.
Well, this is what I got from it. I got that. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nick and Brandy, but I got that. These researchers, who are they're right in it also. Dr. Jacob Wilson and Ryan, they're so excited about this. They started going much further than what I guess they were asked to do, and they started seeing what this can possibly do. So they go, "Wow, let's do it!" You know what I mean? It's like imagine some guy in the army. Remember, the internet was around back in the war days. So imagine some guy in the war days. In 1940 something, say, you know what? I bet you if we actually did what's happening today, the videos, you know what I mean? We could probably video chat on a phone. I bet you we could do that. What if someone did that back in the 1940s? So basically, he's like jumping from here, Keto OS, to this Keto Max that should optimize the way our gut reacts to stuff. You know what I mean? Our good germs, bad, just a whole bunch of technical stuff I don't understand. All I know is he says it's going to optimize our health much, much, much more, which is lovely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand it all either.
Or something.
Go ahead, Brandy. What?
2 times the benefits with half the dose.
Okay.
Yes. So,
awesome.
Yes, that's why I remember that now.
There was a call. I've got it recorded on SoundCloud that I'll send you guys the link again. And it was the call that between Brian Underwood, Dr. Lowry, and Dr. Wilson, and it was pretty much that same conversation that, like Tim said, so we're here. These guys want to take it way up here, and this gut health. Dr. Andy talks about it a lot. So Keto OS. What Keto OS does is it puts ketones in our system.
Mm-hmm.
What if you had a product that not only put ketones in your system, but also maximized the gut bacteria, maximized your ability to digest, because everything that's going on in your body is happening because of your gut.
Gut, yeah.
The good and the bad. Yeah. And so that's where they took it from here to here, because they say in their studies and the trials that they do, they realize that the gut and the ketones, and like the MCT oil has a tremendous effects in the gut. What if they were able to find something, salts and the MCT oils or the oils that were going to make the ketones more effective and heal the gut?
Yeah. Wow. So it sounds like it's like driving in your Tesla in Dustin's Tesla, 0 to 65, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sharon got to drive that car.
Huh?
Nick
said
drove
Sharon messaged me after I left, and she said, "I got to drive Dustin's Tesla." She was so excited.
I'll send you a link. It's not you can't watch it on an Android device. You can if it'll let you do it through Dropbox. Actually, what I need to do is I need to convert it to an MP4, and then anybody can watch it. But it was, I'm telling you, that's my next car. That's all I got to say.
Did you drive it too, Nick?
I did drive it, and I have full video.
Yes,
Full
I saw the video.
Oh,
they had
I need to see that video. I know Sharon was just excited because, you know, her short little self said she could see over the steering wheel, so she was excited.
I was speechless because when you hit the pedal, because it's not a gas pedal, it's an electric motor. When you hit it, so that car, if you go online and look at that model, the S model, it'll go to 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds.
Yep.
Wow.
And stop on a dime too. I mean, one of my clients had this a year and a half ago. I drove it, and I went and put a down payment on the Model X. That was last year. That's the SUV part of the Tesla. So that doesn't come out to 2017. So it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. It goes from 0 to 60 or whatever in 2 to 3 seconds, but stops on a dime. It's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah, it's like driving something, because when you take your foot off the pedal, because it's electric, it torques down, so it slows down really fast.
Yeah.
When you see the video, I was able to drive it without no hands.
Yes.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
Wow.
you just, and that's not with my knee. You know, what you do is you just.
So you've made your decision, huh, Nick?
Oh yeah, it's easy. And here's the thing. So you asked Dustin whose Tesla that is. It's not his. It's ours.
Mhm.
And he's serious. You know, I knew when he got the Tesla that it really, and he made that comment when he spoke. You know, it's not about him having the Tesla. It says what the company's doing, and it says what the team is doing, and what he's able to do to help the team. And so that Tesla is just a symbol of what's possible.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, I laughed because I was getting messages from Nick and Sharon, and I said, well, I guess we're just going to have to call ourselves Team Tesla now.
Yeah,
But, you know, you're right, Nick, and it is a symbol. And I personally think that one of the things that these events can do for us, and they talk about it with all companies, but I obviously am partial and in love with Prove It, right? But we really are a family and a team, and you know the old cliche about it being a win-win is true, right? You know, Dustin would not be where he is and able to purchase that Tesla without helping us, and without us then helping all of those on our team. So the more we focus outwardly on others and helping other people achieve whatever it is they want to achieve, whether they want to lose the weight, you know, which, you know, that's the case, or improve their health, or perhaps make a few extra dollars. It doesn't matter what it is that they want, but the more we focus on what others want and less on what we want, that's true success, in my humble opinion. You know, a bank account really doesn't prove that you're successful at all. You know, some of the wealthiest people can be some of the most unhappy, because wealth comes from other things than, you know, money's paper. It's paper, right? And so I think we've all already experienced that to a certain degree on how it feels to see somebody having success, whether it's just, you know, feeling better in the morning, aches and pains gone, a few pounds gone, whatever. That's exciting. And that's what's motivating. And, you know, Tim, like you talk about the foundation, right? The foundation is everything, in everything in life, is it not? Whether it's you're building a home, if that foundation is not solid, without cracks and leaks, the rest of your house is, you know, the rest of the house is going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Nick and I happen to be of the same faith, and we talk about that in our church. If our foundation is not built on the cornerstone of our religion and strong, then when things happen, you know, it's like being on sand, right? Yeah. Everything is based on that foundation, and all it means, and like you described that really eloquently, really, Tim, is that they're looking, they're aware, they're building that foundation. They're not coming out of the gate saying, yeah, look at us, we got it all covered. No. They are going to the bones. They're bringing in the experts. They're ramping up the research. I mean, the idea that they're even, think about that, scientists and researchers, right?
Yeah.
That science excites them. Like, that's what gets their mojo going. So these guys are looking at this beginning research, and they're already excited, going, oh, no, we can go way over here. So they're excited about that. So I think you're right. I think we've got a really good foundation going and growing, and I think it's going to get stronger. We are babies. We are absolutely infants. We're not even, what? It's 4 months, 5 months technically?
5 months, yeah.
Yeah, and one country so far. And we know the others that are coming down the pike, which is just so exciting. So, and I appreciate you, Tim, because I totally know, that you had things going on behind the scenes and taking a look, and the struggle has been real, getting product over the border.
Well, I'm bringing back, I have my suitcase here. It looks like I'm a drug dealer.
You sent me a picture.
Nick, it's full. Like, seriously, it's laced. It's full. 85 of the keto cream packages, 120 of the keto stuff, just a regular keto OS. It's like, yeah. I told my wife I have nothing. So as soon as I get back there, she's gonna want it. I gotta hide it from her, right? So.
Yeah, it's fun, and we'll talk about a little bit. You've kind of already said it, but how important it is if a person is able to get to the event. Why is it important? Because you can't bring it home no matter how you try, can you? You just can't. You can't bring your excitement home. You can't, you just can't bring it all home. And so I know that as a leader, it's always been challenging because certainly, no matter how hard I wanted to be there, this time it was impossible. And finances, that happens with people all the time. But for those people that sometimes sit on the fence and really probably could go, it's just a matter of, do I want to or do I don't? Try to encapsulate, Nick, start with you, why they should take that leap of faith.
I think
even Nick, excuse me,
Go ahead.
even if they are not a business builder, because these events, you do not have to be a business builder to go to.
No, you don't. I
Right.
think one of the takeaways that I have, and Tim just said, is they brought in some of the best people on the planet. Ryan Lowry and Dr. Wilson, those two guys. When I sent you that link for the call that they were on, they were texting each other at 3:30 in the morning because of something that they had read, and they're just giddy. That's the word I like to use with those two. They're just giddy about the what's going on. And so when you go to an event, you get to see that. You get to see the credibility of the people, of the presenters. I just as a side note, Joseph McClendon the third, he has hooked up with Prove It to be a leadership trainer.
Yeah.
So
No kidding.
We're gonna have not a Dallas event where we do what we did here, where we go and see product and we see the experts. We're gonna have our own personal development guru, and he's good. Ask Sharon. He had her sobbing in the aisle. He's that good that and he has made a commitment to Prove It, and to Brian that he will hold these leadership conferences for us.
Wow.
And so you can't experience that on a Google Hangout. You can't experience it on a phone call because you have too many distractions. What I also love about the community is, I've been in the community for a long time, and so people know me, and I think that's one of the things that's really important is if you've got an opportunity to encourage other people that aren't even in our team, when you go to events like this, they remember that. The Zamoras that were there, just a remarkable couple who you know, you're gonna say this is silly that they did this, but they hawked their wedding rings to come, and you know
Wow.
that's harsh. That's really harsh. But their whole story, you know, so they hawk their rings, all that's stupid. But if you take their whole story, their whole life story, and what they've been through and what they're experiencing with this company, you see it. You know, you buy into it, and it's not a mystery anymore. And you get, you know, of course Dustin's busy and Michael's busy, and you don't get to see them very much. They acknowledge you as much as they possibly can, but they've got, you know, thousands of people, or well, actually there was about 700 people at this event. They had hundreds and hundreds of people, but what was interesting at the very, very end on Saturday night was we went up to Michael and Dustin's suite. They had two other teams that they could have gone to, but we were there. And I truly appreciate their leadership to say, you know, we're going to spend our time with you guys. Now, the other teams, they're already rocking, and they've got great leadership. And, you know, so we had people there that have brought 10, 20, and even 30 people to the event. So Micah Winder and her fiance, Louis Pierman, where are they today? They left Vegas. Where are they today? They're in Oahu building their business because they can.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of my takeaways. It's, you know, I just messaged Louis. Louis is laying on the beach on a towel, beach towel. I am printing that, and that picture is going on my vision board.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, you know, and that's the thing is, social media is wonderful, right? But when you meet someone in person and face to face, and you feel like you know them, and you feel the energy, you have a few words with them, it just solidifies it, right? And that's the thing with every time you hear Brian Underwood speak, is that you hear his sincerity.
Well,
and he's been the same guy as long as I've known him.
The man speaks with his heart.
Yep. Yep. And that's what again, to go to Tim, that's what builds this foundation also. It's just the multifaceted weaving of different things that make this so strong. And that's why, like, I really want to encourage people to get to the events. You know, life gets in the way. Not everybody is going to go extreme and hawk their wedding rings. I actually had sold some stuff years ago to get to an event, and I'll tell you, I was absolutely thrilled that I did. It made a huge change for me. This was probably 6 years ago. And again, you can't experience it unless you go, and you've got to go at least once. And once you go once, you're hooked anyway. And then you're going to be saying the same thing to your people. Let's get there. And I know somebody mentioned to me, I don't know, did you guys get a challenge to each get, 10 people to the next event? Did somebody tell me that?
Yes.
Michael challenge you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we can beat that.
Oh, I'm sure we can.
Yeah, I think we can beat that.
I have to tell you, I took Lisa with me to this event, and she told me on the drive home, she said, I like the product, I love the product, but I wasn't taking it regularly. And I told you she's got some health issues.
Yes.
So she drank it at noon on our one lunch break on Saturday, and she had no pain. All her swelling and inflammation was gone all the rest of the day, and she was so excited. And she said, I knew I liked it. And she said, but now that I've come, all I had to do was hear those couple doctors get up and talk about the benefits and know how good I'm feeling. And she said, if I wouldn't have already been in with you, Brandy, she said, I would have been here for an hour, and I would have said, sign me up, because there's so many people I could help. Yeah. And the way I'm feeling, there's no way I want to be without it.
She was so excited when she, she couldn't even sit in her seat sometimes. She had to get
Uh-huh.
And it's fantastic. And that's just what, that's what we want everybody to experience. I don't care if anybody builds a business really or not. I'm going to be perfectly frank. Whether they leave that event and they sign up anyone as a prover doesn't really matter to me. What matters is that they're going to get the knowledge that they need to make themselves better, and maybe share it with their sister or their husband or someone that they know, because they know somebody that needs to feel better and do better. And I think that really most people feel that way because we're now experiencing it and experiencing the results. Yes, is it great to make extra cash? Is it going to be great when we all are able to get our car? Absolutely it is. But what's going to be even better is seeing those people that have helped us do that, they're feeling better, and then they're getting their car. That's why it's such a win-win situation. And for the first time for me personally in the industry for 21 years, I can say that if there was not a compensation plan attached, I would still continue to use the product.
Same here.
And I can't say that of any other company I've been with, you guys. I'm going to be straight up, and I can actually say that, and that's a really good feeling.
I'm going home with what I have now, but I'm going to be ordering more when I get home.
Yep.
I don't want to be without it ever. Like,
is
seriously.
Patty taking it too now?
Oh, every day. That's what I said. That's what I said. I got to hide it.
That's what I thought.
I run out fast, and now my daughter Tandy's taking it every day, and she's getting these great results in school. So yeah, no, our whole family takes it.
Yeah,
so
us too.
What's your daughter what's happening to your daughter in school?
Well, this Tandy is very she's like me, so she's very out there, right? She's very out there at the age of 8. Her teacher, and since she's been taking it since October, her teacher's been calling us. She's at the French immersion school. She's the only person in her class that gets up and talks French completely. She goes, no other kid has done that. She goes, she doesn't know what's happening. She said, and I looked at Patty, and I said, you know what? We're just helping her with the schoolwork. That's all we're doing. But we looked at it, we said, you know what? It has to be this. And now Tandy cannot in the morning. She goes, Dad, do we have any yet? Do we have any yet? She has to take it. So obviously it's working on her mind. It's clearing her mind, allowing her to focus more on what she needs to get done, which is learning. I mean, you can imagine, as a kid, so imagine we're supposed to be using, 10% of her brain? Imagine if we're, opening up her brain even more, you know what I mean, with this. So she can take more in, and she can actually focus with that. So I think that's what's happening.
How much do you give her? She's 8, you said, right?
She's 8, yeah. So right now we do 2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons?
I do 2 teaspoons. My wife's a baker too, right? So I just have the 2 teaspoons, bam, and she's fine with it. But she even wants more. So the weekends I give her half a pack on the weekend. She's fine. You know what I mean? There's no gut problems or nothing like that. She actually wants more. So and as the doctor says, or not doctor, as some ketones is great and more better, right? So I wanted to give her more. It's just we kept running out of it. It's not, to be honest with you.
I know.
It's not like you guys. You could get it in 3 days. We have to wait a long time. You know what I mean? So
I do. But no, it's funny that you say that. I mean, there's so many things that go along with this, and I mean, I can't necessarily say that I know that it's a fact, but my son Dylan, we all know he's lost a lot of weight and he's losing more, but he has always struggled with math, and as a matter of fact, I know he'd be okay if I said this, but last year, it was in his junior year, he actually failed his math class, and he had to take it over the summer because he wasn't going to have the opportunity to take it again this year in his senior year, so he wouldn't have graduated. So he failed it, and he had to take the class over the summer, and he started out, and it was, he was bummed out, and he was stressed out, thinking, I'm not going to be able to do this. I've already failed it once, and he started it before we got the keto, and was right at the beginning, and then he got the keto, and now granted he didn't have any other classes, but he ended up passing that class with a high C, and now this year, full on the keto, he just aced his math class for the first time in
Wow.
12 years of school.
Woo,
He
way to
got an
go.
A.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else to attribute it to, you guys. What else? Nothing else has changed.
Nothing else. Exactly.
No, there's nothing else that's changed. As a matter of fact, he even has the same teachers. So it's
Wow.
not even like a teacher has changed.
Yeah.
You know? So it's a whole new world, and like I tell everybody, just keep Googling information on ketones and ketones research, because it's, sorry, my dog, it's just, it's exploding, and it's going to continue to explode. And as when we started this company, we are a disruptive technology, and we're disrupting it, improving it. And I'm excited to be part of it.
Well,
Well, listen to this. So, I work with a lot of vendors, hundreds of vendors, and you know that what's going to happen with this product. All these vendors who go looking for something new to bring out in the market, they're gonna grab onto this ketones and figure out how to put it in all their products. That's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So the manufacturers in the States, Canada, wherever, they're going to start making money off of it, just like they did for low carb, low fat products. They marketed that, gluten free. They marketed that. You watch all these products come out now, it's going to say with ketones. You know what I mean? They're all going to be doing that with ketones. Whatever you want with ketones. You know what I mean? So it's going to be huge. It's like
Absolutely.
It's like we're sitting here with Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs and at the beginning. You know what I mean? And this is what we're doing, guys. Oh, okay. What is it? Ketones. It's like that's what it's like. We're right here at the beginning, and next, in 10 years, you're like, holy shoot, how is this $1 trillion company? Where did it start?
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
No, I think you're exactly right, because those people, people probably were saying Facebook. I mean,
Yeah, they did. Two guys walked out of his room.
Right. They thought he was crazy.
Two guys walked out of his room.
And he's creating a name, and it is the same, Tim. It absolutely is the same. I believe it.
Yeah.
So, if there anything else you guys want to point out, pick out, anything at all about the weekend you want to share, I'm just going to mute and let my poor dog outside. And Nick, if you want to close out with something, and we could go around and just say one last thing, and then we'll wrap it up.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send everybody the link. Well, two things. I'm going to send you the audio call between Brian Underwood, Dr. Ryan, and Dr. Jacob Wilson. I think that was a very important call. For those of us that were at the event, it's pretty much a repeat of what Ryan and Dr. Wilson said. I'll also send you a link of Rob DeBoer. I posted it on my Facebook, but I'll send it to you individually. It's Newton's Law of Energy, and I'm telling you, Rob DeBoer is super smart. Jimmy Leach is incredibly smart. Tony Freeman is just the kindest, nicest man. So, and just as a side note, I got a message last night from a lady that I know really well, and she says, "Hey, my nephew, wants to lose weight. Can you help him?" And oh, by the way, I have a man crush on Tony Freeman. And I said, why? When Paige was in her 30s, she started dating a 19-year-old. And they eloped to Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
She's in the lobby getting ready to get married, and this big black man says, "What are you marrying a boy for?" It was Tony Freeman.
That's funny.
I messaged Tony and I said, "Hey, you remember when you were talking to this girl about marrying a boy?" And he actually responded to me. He said he would call her.
Oh, wow.
So I'm really looking forward to that. She's one of my favorite people in the whole world. Their life, their marriage, everything, So outside of Prove It, somebody sees that picture of me and Tony Freeman, brings back a really cherished memory that she has of the man, and that's what I like about Tony. Yeah, he is the top 10 in the world, but he's an incredibly kind human being.
Yep. That's a great story, Nick.
I can't wait to tell that one some. Hopefully she'll come someday.
Yep.
Nice.
And that's what we're creating, right? We're creating stories, we're living our lives, and we're sharing those stories. That's really what we're doing here, guys.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to say, I wasn't there on the Friday night, Nick. I think you were there. I'm not sure about when they talked about the vision board, but we should hold each other accountable in this group because I always believe in mission and visions and statements and boards. Everything that goes along with it. The morning time, talking about your gratefulness, just the whole gamut of being better in our lives and how we have to actually set plans and follow those plans. So I think we should hold each other accountable for the vision board. You know what I mean? Everyone, either we figure out if we want to share it, help each other with it, because sometimes we think that what we see, it can't be real. So we don't put it on there. You know what I mean? But if you put it out there, if you believe, I'm not sure if you guys believe in the secret.
Absolutely.
I'm a devout Christian, but I believe in the secret. You put out positivity, you can get positivity back. And I think that we need to help each other be accountable for our vision boards and say, look, even you might think that this is not going to happen, but this is what you want to happen, and we'll make sure that we hold you accountable, that you at least try as much as you can to make it happen. Not just put it out there and say, I wish. No, just put it out there. Make action plans, and then go ahead and try it. If it doesn't happen, you tried it. You go to your grave knowing that you've tried. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's what I think. I think we all should hold each other accountable for that. Talk to everyone else that's on the team. I know everyone I bring on board, I'll be letting them know about that. You know what I mean? Setting out plans. So that's what
I think that's excellent. And I too am a Christian, but I also love the secret. And I usually create myself at least 2 new vision boards a year. I'm actually due to do another one, actually. So we do that. And then I even do this. I think I talked about this before, one of our last ones. Like I have my daily, weekly, and monthly goals, and they're right here on my bulletin board. And so, I have basically my daily operations, I call it, right? It's the stuff I want to do every day, and then what I want to do weekly. And then my monthly actually is to go back and check my status of my daily and weekly to see how I'm doing on all of those. And like you say, it covers all things, Tim.
Yeah.
I've got my exercise stuff on here. Yeah. I've got work stuff on here. I've got family stuff. One of my daily things is that I want to be in touch with a family member or a friend that I haven't been for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I send them a note, send them a text, whatever it is. So I'm totally down with that, and I think it's a great exercise for us to all do ourselves and to pass down. To our teams, because I really think it's all about that. And they joked for years about network marketing, right? That it was really just a personal development business disguised, right?
Yeah.
Because it really is, right? And we have to grow in to what we're going to become. So we can have a vision over here of what we want to become, but we perhaps are not ready to become that yet. So we have to go through those steps to grow into that, right? You got to, my sons, they wanted to be like their dad, right? When they're little, and they used to put on his big cowboy boots that were size 13, and their feet were, this big. They wanted to grow into those boots, right? We each are at different stages in our lives, in our growth, in our learning, in our business, whether we've started, whether it's new, whether it's old, and we all have room for progression. And absolutely, as we help to do that with each other, not only does it help ourselves again, but we learn more about each other. And really, this is network marketing. This is business building, leadership building, coaching, friendships. And how are you going to do that if you don't really know about somebody? Yeah. You build a stronger bond, a stronger family, a stronger team, a stronger community, a stronger world, in my opinion, that we do that. So I'm totally down with it. Do you have a vision board, Brandy?
I am actually working on mine. I wasn't there
Awesome.
Friday night either. So I have these 2 big boards behind me, and one of them I have goals written on, and then the other one, I bought it like that, where it's got all of the tape on it. So I'm taking all of that tape off, and I'm making that my vision board. I've been gradually
Nice.
getting pictures and different things, but I want it right where I can see it every day, and it's big, so I want to put everything
that's
on
key.
there. And
Nice.
It's key. You want to see it every day.
Yes.
I actually have mine. It drove my husband crazy for a while because I just had it set on the counter between my two vanities in our bathroom.
nice.
And it didn't, it was just stuck there. But I'm like, okay, then I'm going to buy a frame and I'll put it right up on the wall if you want it there, But
Yeah.
we have to envision it first. And again, for anybody that watches this, some people put big things on there. They put cars and they put mansions. It doesn't matter if you're putting a garden on there. If
That's
you
right.
dream of having a lush vegetable garden in your backyard, put it on there.
That's right.
My dream's not your dream. My vision's not necessarily your vision. But what we find is a way in unity to help each other's visions, right? So
I also use my dry erase markers, and I will write on my bathroom mirror inspirational quotes, or you got this, or whatever a goal is for that day, or sometimes you don't sleep good and you wake up and you're crabby, so make a big smiley face and say make today a great day, or whatever, just something to help.
Try choose your attitude. I do that to my girls every morning, and now they get up, and as soon as they see me, and I saw their face, as soon as they see me, they just say they choose their attitude. I swear to God, it works.
It does.
It does work. Just to say, choose your attitude. You can choose to be happy, or you can choose to be miserable.
That's right. And also,
I love it.
I try to avoid negative people as much as I possibly can. We've all got those family members that are negative and that you just have to talk to every once in a while, but I limit it as much as I can because I take it all on here, and so it's hard for me to switch it off. So I just have to try and avoid the negative people as much as possible, and it really helps me a lot.
Oh, absolutely. It's and like you say, it's hard. You can't always cut off family, but we're responsible for ourselves and protecting ourselves. And so I'm the same way. I kind of know what my limit is, and I can only be around certain people for a certain amount of time, and then I have to go recharge because I can feel the energy being
It
drained
sucks it out of you.
Right. Well, here, I'm going to lay out a big one to you guys. I don't know if you guys have seen it on Facebook with my post, but Billy, my husband Billy and Dylan and I, my weight loss has been stalled for a while, right? But through the past month or so, I've been keto. I haven't been eating junk, but I haven't paid attention to keep my macros in line. And some days I drank some water, some days I didn't. I don't know if I ate enough fat. My veggies went down. So I finally said, I'm getting tired of being stagnant and I want to get rolling again. So today is only Wednesday. Monday, the three of us set out our goals again, and I had read this book, and I don't know if you posted it, Nick. Somebody from Prove It posted it. It's a friend of theirs that wrote the book, and it's not all about a ketogenic diet. It tends to be keto, but they add some grains in it. But what I got it for was the exercise plan, because I knew that I was now kind of stuck, Tim, going through the motions at the gym,
Yep.
and I wasn't pushing myself. So we have now started a brand new nutrition, paying attention to our nutrition and our macros, and exercise plan on Monday. Every single part of my body hurts right now except for my ears, because we're doing the 6-day split, right? So every day, 6 days a week, I work out a different muscle part to failure. And then Sundays is completely rest and recovery day. So this is only my third day, but I'm putting it out there. We've challenged ourselves to do this for 30 days. Hopefully at the end of 30 days, we'll challenge ourselves again. But I'm on day 3. Hurts to lift my arms up. Hurts to walk up the stairs. The chest is hurting. The back is hurting. Tomorrow is abs.
Hey, they talked about that at the conference because about that, how you don't have to kill yourself, because I was feeling confused because when I was going to the gym last week, and I'm on the treadmill, and I'm thinking, I was doing it, turn the incline up real high, go as hard as I can, and I would sweat, and I was like, okay, I'm doing something. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do the fat burn program on this treadmill.
Oh, gosh.
And I swear I just sat there. The only thing that was annoying about it is you had to have your hands on it because it wanted your heart rate the entire time. And it goes off of your age and your sex or whatever. And I was sweating when I was done, but it wasn't, I don't feel like I was doing anything. But they said that that's what you want to do to burn fat. It needs to be consistent. But I felt like I needed to up my game a little bit. But at the conference, they were talking about that, how, yeah, you don't have to kill yourself and to burn fat.
And you
Yeah,
don't.
Abigail is very clear about that, because she was a fitness competitor. She actually has cut back on her cardio.
That was downhill, right?
Yep.
She said that cardio is overstated in the fitness world, and that then she described her workout and her regimen, which is exactly what Brandy's talking about. Is that you? It's. So here's the deal. I just posted on Facebook something that I got from Louis Pierman, and it was after the conversation with Rob, Jimmy Leach, and Tony Freeman. You will burn fat in the pursuit of building muscle. And one of the illustrations that they talked about is they took two different groups. One group took Keto OS 7 days a week, and another group took Keto OS 5 days, and then they ate carbs on the weekend. They both lost the same weight, relatively the same weight. And you say, well, then what good is Keto OS? Ultimately, what they were able to determine is, yes, they lost the same weight, but the people who ate the carbs lost muscle in the process. And so, just like what Brandy was saying there, it's really important to do the right things, not kill yourself. And they even talked about lactic acid and all kinds of things. I wish they would have talked a little bit more about that, because that's something that's really been a problem for me. But I work out like Brandy was saying. You just work out harder, you don't kill yourself.
Yeah, cardio, I don't kill myself with cardio. I used to do what Brandy did too, and I would up it, and I would check my heart rate, and I know what my target heart rate is and all that. But half the time on those machines, it's not 100% accurate anyway. But when I actually listened to or read that about the pursuit of muscle, Nick, and that you lose the fat in the pursuit of the muscle. And the thing with me is I've always been a gym rat, and there's been periods of time where I did it so wrong, so wrong. And then, you can go to the gym and you can see people that go to the gym 6 and 7 times a week, and there's nothing happening. There's just nothing happening. Because you do have to do certain things in a certain way. There's a science to all of it. But what we also know that goes along with this science is every single one of us is different.
Right.
We respond slightly different, So I had done this type of weight training years ago, and it was when I was in the best shape of my life. And I just finally said, listen, I already love my nutrition. I'm just going to tweak it. My biggest thing is I don't drink enough water, so I'm kind of being more conscious of that. Tweaking that a little bit, sticking with the keto, and now I'm spending half the actual time amount in the gym, but, vastly more results. So I'm just throwing it out there. That's one of the things I'm doing, so you guys can hold me accountable to that. If you don't see me post for a couple days, say, hey, did you get out of bed today or what? But I think we'll wrap it up, and I thank you guys. Thank you for going to the event and making the effort to go there, Brandy and Nick and Tim, and I know Peter and Sharon and Lisa. I know it was well worth it. I hope that we will all be together at the next one and all drag along at least 10 people so they can experience the knowledge and the power there too.
That's the goal.
All right, guys. So
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Take care.
Have a good night, guys.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
Thanks.